Hi, sorry about my squinty face. It's Friday, the 2nd of April. I thought it was Saturday, and it's really not, it's Friday. So I've got to go and cut a lawn. No, I haven't. I've got to go and trim the edges of a lawn. I ran out of cord yesterday, and I was supposed to be doing it. I'm in the polytunnel. I came up early this morning, like, I don't know, 7:45. It wasn't that early, I had a bit of a lie in. Look how smart I look. I've got my farm clean t-shirt. I look scruffy, but um, yeah, in the polytunnel. Came up early, as I say, and it was cold. Oh, I felt quite chilly. So what did I do? I left all the things shut. I left hang on a minute, I'll show you. I left the vent at the back there. I've actually opened it since. It goes right up there, and it's all open there, and it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I think there's a tear in the actual plastic behind that post there, I'm pretty sure, and it's only the bottom bit, and it's now rolled up, which is, it doesn't matter. It was just brilliant that it worked out so well. As I say, I've opened it now because when I was up here earlier, it was 7 degrees in here because it was early in the morning and the sun went up so much, and now the sun is up. It's boiling. It's really warm in here. It was 42.5 when I came in. No, it's 41.6. Now it's not really made any difference. Hang on a minute. Where's the? I might have to take you in the shed to. Take you in the shed. Take you in the shed. Have a look. Where is it? There it is. 41.2. 41.5 in the polytunnel. But it's because I've got the vents open and I've got the fans on. I have to move the fans about, so I'm just going to show you. I'm going to move this fan here down there somewhere so that it's coming off the back, drawing the air from under the hedge where the vent is, so it's drawing cool air in. So I'm moving them down onto the floor, and then I'll move other fans around so that it draws the air up and across. That's the idea anyway. Look at my peaslet. I did a video for you where I just chomped the tops out like that to prune the peas back. Some people like that. Anyway, I'm going to do it again because there's one there. I'd already done that one, but I've done it again now. Yeah, and where I've chomped them off and just bitten the tops off, they've grown the shoots underneath. So I'm trying to point to it. There we go. There's shoots underneath, you see, and it's the side shoots that are coming out. So they'll produce more lower shoots. And then when they grow again, I'll do the same again. I'll come along and I'll just graze them off. Just bite the tops off there. I've trimmed the tops off some of the beans as well, so that the side shoots again come out. It makes more shoots at the bottom. You can or you don't have to, it doesn't matter, but because they're early and because I put them in the polytunnel and grown them, and because it's quite warm, they're already stretching. And what I don't want them to do is to stretch out too far before I put them in the ground. And we're in April, so they'll be going out at the end of the month or the beginning of next month. I never normally put out plants that aren't really hardy until 15th, 17th of May. It's because of the fact that you still get, I know they say that you don't, but sometimes you still get frost. It's supposed to be cold tonight, tomorrow. I don't know whether it will be down here because this is Devon. It won't be cold here, it's lovely. But it was cold this morning. That pea was nice. I got some tomatoes that have just got things knocking about. There's a big, I think I did a video and I put some of the weeds, some of England's weeds. So here, I'm just going to show you. This is in my pot from last year. This is that bittercress. Well, we can zoom right into the flower. There we go, look. It's just going to bounce about. But there's the flower, and you can see these are the seed heads on top. And they're long seed heads, and when they ripen, as a gardener, when you're weeding round, bittercress is quite good. You can just, I don't know if I can do this, you can just poke your finger down by the bottom of the root, poke it in a little bit, and they've got like a little long taproot. And if you pinch underneath and you hold that taproot, you can pull it straight up like that. You just shake it off, and that's the taproot, and it has little only thin roots going out, but they're very easy to pull up. But they do produce an awful lot of seeds, and they will go into flower when they're really tiny, and then they'll still produce seeds, and they're very prolific. But they're great. I mean, they're not great. They poke you in the eye. The seeds, when the seeds pop off those long stems, they pop, and it seems to peel out, and they flick you right in the eye, and it's quite annoying. Now I wear specs, it's not so much. I can see them pinging off instead. But yeah, there's one like that. There's another one in a different potlet, and it's only small, you see. And that's the same plant. The same. Look at that. It's got a longer little root. It's probably caught up with a different one. Look at that. There we go. Can you see? Yeah. Yeah, there you are. Well, that's a little tiny version of the other one there. But you can still see it's still gone into flower and gone to seed, even though it's that small. I'm going to chuck it. I'll chuck it there in that pile of rubbish there. And this is just compostable plant, but because of the fact that I've left it on the floor, it'll dry out because it's stinging nettles and things like that that could grow. If I let them dry out first, they're more of a, well, they're still green rubbish, but they're more of a brown green rubbish. Look at all the wood lice underneath. Look, they've all just legged it, and except for that one. Oh no, it's just off. Look, oh, bounced off that one. They're having a little race. Look. Everyone's off. Springtails as well. Everything's running. I'll put the stuff back and they'll either run back underneath it. Look at that, there we go. Or on the other side, or they'll run away. Look. Lots of little bugs and stuff as well. There's a springtail under my arm here somewhere. I can't see where it's gone. There's a battery there. Oh, fell out in the old radio. Chuck it somewhere else. But yeah, that's that. That's bittercress, and they were all not pill millipedes, they were woodlice, which are isopods. Do look up isopods, they're very interesting for little bugs that break down wood and detritus and all that sort of thing. As I say, they're the clean-up crew, and they live on the bottom of my polytunnel, which is nice. And they just break down things, piles of compost that I leave on the floor for them. I don't leave it for them. I need to clear it all up, but it's actually quite interesting to leave it on the floor, and it shows you what lives in my polytunnel on the floor of my polytunnel. And so it goes with my insect safari. I'm actually standing in my second part of my... let's do that. In the second part of my system, which I've got to build as well. I mean, the first part's not even working yet, so I don't know how I'm going to work that. But the second part is behind me. What is it? Look at my long spaghetti arm. There we go. So you see the bathtub up on the top there? It's the same doodah. The water will come up through a big pipe at the back. And it'll come up and then it'll go up into the bathtub at the top. There's actually two bathtubs at the top, and there's a barrel in between that's split, like a splitter one, which I was going to put it into that first. I don't know yet, but I'm going to at least put it into the top bath. It's a media bed, the same as the other media bed, and I'll have some fish in the middle fish tank, which will feed this system, and it'll have ammonia-rich water from the fish, which will come up and go into the bathtub at the top. The same process will happen with the bell siphon, where it'll fill the bed, and then when the bell siphon overflows, it'll empty the bed all in one, which will run back and into one of these big pipes. And in the big pipe, I don't know how I'm going to do that yet, but in the big pipe there's this. Now these, I'm not advertising them or anything like that, but these are recommended by Dr. John Campbell, who he does like a thing about what's going on in the world. Like he's a doctor, and he tells you it's very interesting, and he tells everyone to take vitamin D. I spend a lot of time outside. And I still take vitamin D, and I actually feel better this year than I have done, well, ever really, probably. I didn't really feel ill before, but it's nice to have someone knowledgeable to tell you these things. Anyway, he told me to take this vitamin D, and I do. Brilliant stuff. Thank you, Dr. John Campbell. Brilliant. And your show's brilliant. I do like it. As I say, I collected these, and I've got a whole load of them. I expect there's there's more than 10 anyway. I don't know how many there are, but I have it all the time. So what I was thinking was with this, because it's a tube, I can see if I can open it with one hand. It's got a stopper on it like that, but it's a tube, see? It's got this stopper. I thought if I cut half of the tube at the back, half of the tube there, so I cut it in half, but cut a piece out, and then if I could fill the, I don't know how much water will fill the brown pipe, it's like a waste pipe, but there's 2 of them going down, and there's like 100 litres, I should imagine, that will come out of the bathtub, and it will run into this pipe. I've got to work all this out. And the idea was, because I like to use other people's stuff, or my, you know, recycling, this is what I'm trying to do. If I cut the hole in that, and I had the hole at the top, and I cut a hole in that and stuck it through, I hope you can see what I'm doing. It would stick through there, and then when the water came out of the bathtub, rich in nitrates, it would come out of that, which would, one of these would go in the end of it like that, coming out of this. I don't know whether you're going to be able to understand what I'm doing, but I want it to just to run into it like that, but come out of there into there. So I've got to drill a hole in there, cut it right, make sure the tank fills up to a certain point, and I'll have to put them in at different angles, sort of thing. But what I wanted to be able to do is to make the gutter fit onto here, onto some sort of ledge, so that when the water runs down, it feeds each of the lettuces. But the other thing that I wanted to do is to be able to pull the actual whole thing out, because I don't want to have to come into this part of the gutter system, because there's going to be 77 gutters running down here. Now, that's, I think, how many I'm going to fit in. But I don't want to be standing in here to come in and to manage the lettuces that are growing. I want to be able to drag them out from that end. The peas are underneath. Let me just show you, look. So, ooh, it's a bit of a step, that. I'm quite tall, so it's good. Yeah, so I'd like to be able to pull this gutter from this end all the way down to be able to manage the lettuces that are in it if I have to trim the leaves, blah, 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 blah. And I just wanted to show you what I was doing, and my thoughts of what I'm going to do is to use my vitamin D tubes to spout the water down. I don't know whether it's going to work or not, but this is my great plan. So I've got a bathtub thing and vitamin D tubes. It'll be a good advertisement for vitamin D. I'll have to cover the top up, but I have raspberry flavour fizzy vitamin D, and they're 75 micromoles, I think it's called. Good for your bones, and it's got a shield on, which is always good. So yeah, and it's like a kid's one. I don't care. I have like a little glass of it in the morning. God, didn't I sound farmery there? I have a little glass of it in the morning, and it's lovely, and it makes me feel good. So there we are. Thank you very much, Dr. Campbell. The system's coming on and everything else. And yeah, I've come back out. I was showing you that, that's right. So yeah, that's the next system. That's what I've got to build. I've got to finish this one. I've got more floating raft beds coming this month. So once they come, I've got some more rock wool to put in them, or I'm going to try some sponge type things as well. I'm hoping that I'll have enough to fill this bed and this one. And the other one, I'm just going to do the fish tank plants, I think. Oh, it's so blindingly bright and it's so warm. Do the fish tank plants in this one, just to see whether I can grow them, and perhaps do some, like, not cherry shrimp, something a little bit better than that, but I'll perhaps have some cherry shrimp, put them in the bathtub, and then have some like tiger shrimp or something. I keep seeing good deals on eBay. I know people say, oh, you shouldn't buy your pets from eBay, but fish and things like that, it's actually quite good to... I shouldn't say that out loud, because I also go and get my fish from the fish shop down the road where I got my goldfish, and they're very, very good, and you should actually go there and support them. But because of the fact that I'm on a bit of a larger scale in a way, I need to buy like a whole massive group to get a group growing, to be able to breed them. So I'd probably have to get like 30 cherry shrimp, and then I'll put them in the bathtub, and then I'll get 30 tiger shrimp, and I'll put them in the other floating raft bed, and they'll keep the algae from growing on the fish tank plants that will be in that other floating, not, yeah, it's a floating raft bed, but I'm going to turn it into a pond. And then I'll have it like a fish tank that you're looking from the top. I know that you can get fish called koi platies and mollies. I think it's koi platies and mollies. So I'll try and get some of them perhaps, and they're coloured like koi carp, which is quite interesting. And you keep them in ponds in your garden. I mean, if you did it in your garden here, you'd have to do it in the summertime only, and then in the wintertime you'd have to scoop them up and bring them indoors, like I do here. I put them in my fish tank at home. But you can do it with swordtails and things like that. You just can't put them in the river or anything like that, because they'd die, or they'd get eaten, or they'd spread some horrible disease. But for where I am, the reason I've got white cloud minnow in my system and variegated albino ones and things like that, it's all just to keep the mosquito larvae down. That's all it is. I did put some in my outside pond last year, and then I got given a whole load of like different things, koi carp and goldfish, and I think there's a sturgeon or something in there, and they ate the whole lot, which was, a bit sad. But I mean, I took 60 out, I think, first of all, before they all got eaten, and I put them into the inside bit, and some at home, and I've still got a whole load at home. So I've probably got 30 at home, and I've probably still got 30 up here. But because I've split them into different colours and all that sort of thing, I'm going to try and breed them so that they have long fins and they're albino. That's the idea. But that's just from growing them in the ponds that they're in, and they're just there literally to keep the mosquito larvae out and any bugs out. And then I thought, if I do them and I do the shrimp, then I can do the shrimp and they'll actually take care of the algae growing inside the floating raft bed. This is my theory. I don't know whether this will work or not, but I'm going to try it. And it'll stop when I take the lettuces out or whatever, I'm going to have to be careful because they might have shrimp in amongst the roots. So I'll just have to watch that once they get growing. But it'll be an experiment to do so. And it'll be good to set up the other system and use, recycled things. And I've got there's a pile of them there, so you can see. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna build another system using other people's stuff to build it, and I'm gonna have a go at it anyway. And it'll be fun. It'll be interesting. I'm gonna bring you along for the journey through. Let's build another different part of an aquaponic system out of downpipes and bathtubs. So yeah, that'll be the second part. I've still got to fix the first part up, and I will do, and I'm going to bring you along for that as well. And I will eventually get a selfie stick, because people keep on telling me, just get a selfie stick. And I say, my arms are like selfie sticks, they're spaghetti arms, they're so long. If I go like that, see how tall I am. So yeah, I'm just going to bring you along for all of this. If you like what I do on here, it's just me wandering around, yabbering on and farting, it seems, and growing stuff out of ridiculous things. I will be building more stuff. I've got to build another shed that's big enough to house 4 solar panels. I haven't got enough money for 8. 4 solar panels, so I've got to get another 2. My friend has an idea of sorting something out, so I think I'm going to do that, and then I'd have enough solar to run the system all the time, and I wouldn't have this worry of having to make sure I come up and the batteries are fully charged and the system's charged and all this. I'd still have that worry, but it'd be a bit easier, I think. So we're going to sort that out. Yeah, it's all going well. If you like my stuff, like what I'm doing, and you're interested in what I'm doing, it's just too bright out there. I'm trying to make it so you can see. Please like, subscribe, press the bell icon. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere. It's probably down there or up there, or it doesn't matter where it is. If you go onto my channel and you press subscribe, and then you can follow what I do, and I'll bring you all along. We can see all different things. I'm going to keep doing the animal insect safari. I'm going to put on all the animals and the wildlife that I can. I'm going to put on what else am I going to put on? I'm going to put on Yeah, the birds and things. I want to do the mouse and bird table. It's all set up there, but I have had an idea of maybe I could view it with a dash cam because I've got a dash cam now and it's quite good actually. And I just thought if I connected that to a battery, then I could watch it out the back here and it would be easier to watch in colour and all that. I just thought it was a good idea. Good idea. It's not a it's not it's not a trail cam, but it shows good video from what I can see. So I thought I'd try that. We'll see how it goes. I might be able to do one night and one day. But yeah, that'd be great, wouldn't it? Anyway, that's just a view of what's going on in my polytunnel. I thought it was Saturday and it's not. It's Friday. Yeah, I've got to go and trim someone's lawn if I can find some more string cord. Anyway, nice one.
Cheers.